The Torah tells us that at the moment Rivka became engaged, Eliezer reaches into his luggage. He pulls out klei chesef, he pulls out silver jewelry, he pulls out gold jewelry, and he pulls out clothes, and he gives it to Rivka. Now, why did Eliezer pull out clothes? We understand you give to a bride, you give her some nice earrings, you give her a bracelet. Why the clothes? What did that represent? Why did she need it? Wasn't she already wearing clothes? So Rabbi Sachar Dov Belz explains that of course Rivka was wearing clothes, but the clothes that Rivka wore were not reflective of the way a Jewish woman was to be dressed in the house of Avraham. It was reflective of the way in which the standard was at the time in Haran, that's how the women dressed there. Now, therefore, Eliezer takes clothes and gives them to Rivka and say, Rivka, this is how we dress in the house of Avraham. Wonderful. There's a problem with that explanation, though, because the Torah just a little bit earlier, when the Torah introduces Rivka, praises Rivka, in that she was a girl, v'ish lo yida'ah, that no one knew. Rashi explains that many of the girls in Haran at the time were very promiscuous, and Rivka was pure. Rivka did not get involved in any of that activity. So Rivka was already tsanua, Rivka was already modest. But if Rivka was modest, then why did Eliezer have to bring her clothes? So the answer to that is, as I like to humbly suggest, is that Rivka understood modesty on the inside, but she didn't understand the standard that was expected in the house of Avraham, the standard that was expected of a Jewish woman to be dressed in a certain way. Rivka, you're about to become the Amy Yisrael, the matriarch of the Jewish people. You have to make sure that the outside reflects what you're feeling and the way you act on the inside. And so therefore Eliezer gives her the clothes and says to her, this is how we dress in the house of Avraham, so that now finally the true Rivka, who she was on the inside, could now be expressed and reflected by what she was on the outside. Until now it couldn't, because the standard in her society for tznius, for modesty, was very different. And I think the same is true when it comes to our times. The standard in society today for modesty is very different than what it used to be. And because of that, it sort of goes over the rim into our society, meaning our communities as well. And the standard of our community needs to be one that is befitting of a Jewish woman. We have the concept of kol kvuda bas melech pnima, that each Jewish woman is seen as being the daughter of a king, a princess. And a princess is someone who presents herself in a certain way, in a tznius way, in a modesty, in that the inside, the modesty that she has on the inside is reflected by what she wears on the outside. It's a great challenge for our daughters, our wives, our daughters, our granddaughters in our society to find the clothing that really reflects this tradition that has been going on for thousands of years of the way a Jewish woman dresses. It's a great challenge, and it's something that that many struggle with every single day. And it's really our obligation to preserve that tznius, that modesty that was first ingrained by Eliezer into Rivka and allowed Rivka to really reach incredible heights that made her the matriarch of the Jewish people. May we be zocha, may we merit in our society and our community to take this sense, this important lesson of tznius, and make sure that we preserve Rivka's legacy. Thank you for listening, and good Shabbos.